Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome to Makeup or Makeup. I am ready to play with this palette. I have not touched it yet. I am just going to create a look and we'll just see what happens. I have no plan whatsoever. Let me just show you the shadows. So it's an 8-pan palette and it looks quite lovely, well organized, but I have not, as I said, I have not touched it. And I'm thinking that I'm going to play around with the browns today. I haven't done a lighter brown look in quite a while, and I did put on a lip that is quite nude that I think would go with a light brown look. And I think I'm going to therefore work with this side of the palette. So kind of a browny gold look is what I think I'm going to end up creating for us today. So I think I'm going to go in with this kind of neutral brown right here and set up a base. I do have a tiny bit of light beige from the Smashbox Matte Exposure, which is my Pan That palette for, it was last year and again in 2021, and it's right here. So if you may recall this palette, and there's not much to show inside anymore, but I can show you which color I used today, which shadow. It's just this. It's just a very basic beige, just to give my eyelids a little bit of color and to hide, you know, veins and whatever that I don't necessarily want to show on camera, because it doesn't need to show sometimes, right? All right, so how many times can I say all right? I'm going to be using this fluffy brush from Quo, which is a Canadian brand sold at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I'm going to go into that brown I mentioned. And that brown is called Marina. Okay, so there's a sailor theme here, I think. Yes, there is. All right, so I've loaded up the brush a little bit. I'll do one eye and then do the other eye off camera to save us all some time. So again, I'm in with Marina. And I like to go into the inner lid as well. Oh. A little hair from the brush there. I wouldn't say inner brow works for everyone, but for my eye shape it seems to work fine. And I think I am just going to change colors shortly. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to use my angled brush and just bring that brown on the outer lower lid. And now I think I'm ready to change colors. Okay, I think I'm going to go in with this brush, which is the Smashbox Contour Shadow Brush. And I'm going to go into this beige right here to do my brow bone. So we'll do that. It's a very neutral look with this palette, as I said before. And I think I want to deepen up the outer lid, and I think I'm going to use this deep brown right here called Siren, and what I did use on my brow bone is Conch, if you're curious. Okay, to use that dark chocolate brown, I'm going to use my full coverage shadow brush from Smashbox and go into that. It's almost like, I'm not sure if it's chocolate brown. I guess we'll find out as I apply on the eye. Okay, it's not very pigmented. The kind of similar color that I use from my Pan That palette, that Smashbox Matte Exposure, is seems a lot deeper than this one. But the brown, the kind of camel brown that I put on beforehand, looked pretty darn good, so it's interesting that this one is not quite as pigmented, but it might be to make it more approachable. I like that. That looks quite nice. I've been doing a lot of color lately, and so to do a neutral look is kind of a treat. Since I'm working with this palette, which is Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2, I'm going to just put the latest video that I did with the Be a Mermaid and Make Waves, I think is what that palette's called. There's a video on that one as well. If you've been curious about Tarte products, especially since this time of year there are sales, and I know that Tarte is having some sale items right now featured. Okay, I think that looks really nice. I'm just going to use the fluffy brush and make sure that there are no harsh edges. Okay, I like that. I want to take a little bit of that brown and amplify it on the outer lower lash line. And I'm going to use the angle brush that I have from my Smashbox Matte Exposure. It's a double-ended brush that came with the palette. And I'm going to go into that same dark brown and add some to the outer lower lash line. Oh, that went a little bit low. It was still pretty loose, so I could just wipe it away. I think I'm going to just keep going. It seems to be going well. I usually use my precise smudger brush for this, but for some reason I don't see it there. Oh, hello. I was sure that I took it out, which is funny. Oh no, you know what? I know where it is. It's in my makeup bag at my significant other's place. That's where I put it. And so it is not here right now. Okay, I really do need a second of that brush. That precise smudger from Smashbox is awesome. If they still are selling it. I think they discontinued their brush line. Okay, that looks really nice in my opinion. And now I just want to do something with the inner lid, and I'm a little bit torn between two colors. I kind of want to use this one, but I think that the gold would be a better choice, and I think that's what I'm going to go with, is the gold color. And it's really a typical color, which is why I'm kind of going, do I want to use it? But let's just go with it. It's probably going to look fantastic, so why fight it? Let's just go with it. And for that purpose, I will use my usual, the multitasker brush from Smashbox, going into that gold, which is called Sunset. Sunset, and that deep brown was Siren. So going into Sunset, I'm not going to use any kind of glitter glue or anything like that, because I think it's going to adhere to the eye quite well based on how the other shadow worked on the brow bone. I don't have any reservations in just using the straight brush. Going to add a little more and then use my finger to do the rest. Probably my ring finger. Okay, so switching to my ring finger, right into that sunset shadow, and I'm going to press it right in. And those shimmers do really well with finger application usually. Okay, that is really pretty. I think it's really pretty. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I think I'm going to go in to the gold just a little bit more to get toward the inner, very inner lid. And I think that that is sufficient. I just wiped off a little bit of gold that went onto the lower lid. And I'm going to go back in with my Smashbox Matte Exposure brush and just put back the brown that got wiped away with the gold. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that looks reasonable. So what I'd like to do now is put the liner and mascara on this eye, and then I'll go off camera and do the other eye the same way, and we can come back and take a look at the final look. So let's do liner and mascara right now. Okay, for liner, I am going to use the Anastasia liquid liner. I really like it, that one, and the Huda Beauty double-ended, mascara, double-ended liner I really like. So those are both good in my book. If you're okay with a wider and kind of on the wet side liner application, I think you would like it. It's really effortless, especially if you don't like tugging at your eye. I think these liquid liners are very good. Okay, that's it. That's all it takes. It's very quick. And for mascara, I'm going to use the Air Volume from L'Oreal, and it's really hard to show you the packaging on this because it's very blingy. Depending on how I do it, you can see it, Air Volume mascara. I do like that it's kind of flattened out on one side because it doesn't roll off the counter, which is a bonus in my opinion. And I do like the brush on this mascara. It's quite large, and I feel like that's a good style of wand for a volumizing mascara. I think it's about somewhere between $10 and $13 Canadian at the drugstore, depending on what kind of deal you can get. For some reason, they were almost giving it away when I first was introduced to it, and I thought, for a couple bucks, I'll try it. But that is not the regular price. So usually it's between $10 and $13 by what I've been able to ascertain. And that, of course, again, is in Canadian dollars. Okay, so that is one coat on natural lashes. I am going to go, as I said, off camera and replicate this look on the other side. And I will add a second coat of mascara on both eyes, and I will be back with the final look. Okay, this is the final look. I hope you are enjoying it. I did also use the All Nighter Setting Spray from Urban Decay to finish up the look. And if you are wondering what is on my lips, I have the Clinique, what is it called? The Blushing Pop 01. And it is a, what's it called? Something matte. Pop matte. I can't figure out what the other word is. So it's a matte from Clinique. It's a nice little mini that I received from Clinique, but that has quite a bit of product. And I thought, kind of a neutral lip with a neutral look, although given the look that I have on, I think a chocolatey brown would have looked good as well. But we're talking about the palette today, not lipstick. This is my first impressions of the palette, and what do I think? I think that it is a palette that is very easy to use to make a professional and or glam look. So I think that it is a very approachable palette. There is no, as I hit the camera, there is no shadow in here that I would hesitate to use. They all look very usable, and they all look like they would play very well together. So I have zero reservations on using this palette. I think that it's well curated. I think that it is beautiful aesthetically. And I like the names, I like the theme. As I mentioned in a previous video, I did want this palette, just make sure that I say it properly, Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2, because of the sea theme, along with the Be a Mermaid and Make Waves. Those are two palettes that I've been interested in from Tarte for quite a while. Let me just show you the inside of the other one. And I'm really impressed with the ease of how I created this look. And I'm looking forward to giving you a recorded first impressions of this one as well. So far, I have used two shadows. I've used this one and this one, just going into the palette to pick those two colors. I have a picture of that, what's it called? Splash, the green one, kind of aquamarine green. I'll put that picture right there for you. I don't think I have a picture of the blue one though. Blue and burgundy duochrome. But yes, so far so good on those two palettes. I, like I said, will do a full first impressions like I did right now with the other palette, the Be a Mermaid and Make Waves, the seashell one. And that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the look. Let me know what you think of either one or both of those palettes. I'd love to hear. And I will leave it at that and say see you in the next video. But for now, take care.